No one is reopening the Idaho4 Brian Koberger case based on this old audio. And let me explain why. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I'm a criminal defense attorney, specifically a public defender, and I, like many of you, were very involved and interested in the Brian Koberger Idaho4 case when it was going on. So let's talk about this. I have seen a lot of people calling for the Brian Koberger case to be reopened based on this old audio. Now, why am I calling it old audio and not new audio? Because it is old audio. It's new to us, but it's not new to the case. Okay? The defense and the prosecution have had this in discovery, have reviewed this in discovery, have listened to this in discovery, and are aware of what's in this audio. Okay? This is not going to reopen the Koberger case. Okay? It's not going to make the Idaho4 case back on the front page of the news. It is not going to be this huge piece of evidence that was the missing link that makes the state reopen the case, that makes some attorney take on Brian's cause and file numerous appeals to prove his innocence. It's not going to happen. Any creator telling you differently is lying to you. They are lying to you. Or they simply don't know how the criminal justice system works. This is not new information. This is old information. Would this audio have come in at trial? Maybe. Maybe Ann would have used it. Maybe the prosecution would have used it. We don't know. There was no trial because he pled guilty. The case is over. This is not a new piece of evidence that exonerates him or tends to exculpate him, which truthfully is the only way his case would be reopened, is if there is a new piece of evidence that comes forth that exonerates him and exculpates him, that proves his innocence completely, meaning someone else coming forward basically and saying, nope, he didn't do it, I did, and here's how, and here's why, and here's the evidence, and here's the murder weapon, and this, that, and the third. An audio that was in the possession of the defense and the prosecution for a large portion, even for just for a little portion of the discovery process, is not going to be that piece of evidence. It's just not. And if anyone is telling you differently or leading you to believe differently, they are lying, and they are doing it for views, and it's bullshit. Pay attention to who you are getting your information from. This case is not about getting fans, getting views, getting followers. This case is about 4 people who lost their lives and the 2 surviving victims. Okay? And justice. And justice. Don't forget it's about justice. And if at some point exonerating evidence comes out, hell yeah, love that, right? Because we all want the right person to be convicted of these crimes, right? And if that turns out not to be Brian, then that turns out not to be Brian. But this isn't it. This isn't that piece of evidence. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. It's not reopening the case. Don't let other people tell you it is. Don't let other creators convince you that it is. Because they're lying and they're misleading you. Okay? The defense and the prosecution been knowing about this for a while. All right? That's my 2 cents on it. Probably the last video I'm going to make on this because this is a moot point. But have a great night. It's Friday Eve. I hope y'all are celebrating. Have a good night. Bye.